All right, welcome to the weekend video. This is Enda here from bowwebs.org. If you are interested in what I do, if you like what I do, head over to bowwebs.org and check out the offers there, membership offers, and you will get nightly Elliott wave analysis on all the markets that I follow. Okay, so been another interesting week. Welcome back for all new people. Thanks for popping by. Apart from that, I think we still are in this kind of holding period. It seems this kind of the upside correction within the stock market, at least, has got a hold so far. I'm pretty convinced that it's all but over, but we shall see today. I was hoping for that acceleration lower to begin today. Not so. So we will see how it progresses. Okay, I'm going to start on the FX market. So this is dollar FX. This is euro dollar. Again, I think we may be closer to a phase change here than maybe even I'm willing to admit. But we do, like, I'm working on this final fifth wave down within wave 5 in blue. We have. Within wave 5 in green, we have a possible 5-wave pattern underway here. The problem I'm having here is, are we only correcting higher in a 4th wave of that 5th wave, or are we going to, completely reverse the trend and head up in wave 1? I'm open to both. I mean, you can see here the alternate count is a bullish alternate. And that shows a 1-2 pattern. Maybe that's how this is going to play out. I'm open to the bullish reversal because I'm looking for a bullish reversal, but I don't think the pattern is quite suitable just yet. But we'll see. The main pattern still allows for one more 5-wave decline in wave 5 of 5, and once that happens, then the overall pattern will be complete. So, what am I going to say for next week? I think the transition period, if this is the bullish inverse head and shoulders here, and we are going to rally, well, then pretty soon next week we should know that we're within a 3rd wave higher. If that happens, then I ditch this short-term count, I switch to the alternate, and we work higher for the medium term anyway. Within wave C. Well, actually, it could be quite a decent long rally. We'll see how it goes. But if you go to the daily count here, you can see this wave C rally probably up to about 125 again. That's a long way up. It's 2,500 points from where we are right now. So it's a short dollar scenario, I suppose, in general. So let's see how that goes. Pound dollar. We'll move on to pound dollar and we'll see if we are getting some sort of complementary pattern here. This is the weekly chart, actually, is it? Weekly chart, yeah. You can see that we've got an A wave down, a running flat B wave in wave B in black, and I'm looking at a long-term C wave down. But in the medium term, we should have a correction higher within a 2nd wave. So we'll get close to wave 1 down pretty soon, and then we should rally in a 2nd wave. I think that should probably hold within the declining channel here. So up somewhere around, once wave 1 is done, up somewhere around 127, 130-ish again for wave 2 once wave 1 is done. If we go to the hourly count here, you can see wave 1. We have a possibility that wave 1 is done, but also the likelihood of maybe one more decline. I have to kind of iron that out just yet. If we look at the bullish alternate, we still have only 3 waves up. So this is either a 4th wave correction or a 2nd wave correction. I don't quite know yet. It's a correction in my book. The decline, I was looking for a decline this week. It's been kind of choppy and changey, and it hasn't broken this previous wave A low yet. So there's still the opportunity for a possible bullish alternate there. If we look at the 4-hour count, maybe wave 5 is done already. and maybe we're actually working on wave 1 and 2 here. If that's the case, again, I think we should know early next week, and we should probably reverse the pattern onto that alternate account when that happens. So far, I'm not. I haven't ruled out, let's say, the bearish option, but well, I'm probably sitting on the fence at this moment in time. It's a 50-50. We'll see how it goes next week. Okay, dollar yen. The pattern dollar yen is probably clearer. I was hoping that this fourth wave would go a lot lower. I'm not sure about that yet. I think it was mentioned that last week as well. Not quite sure whether we'll drop back into the previous shoulder here. I mean, a correction higher in both cable and euro dollar would suggest a correction lower in dollar yen. So I don't know. It's possible that we drop further. Maybe this certain decline that we're undergoing right now, maybe this is just going to be wave A of wave 4. I'm being conservative about it at the moment. So if we go to the hourly count, I'll show you what I'm thinking here. It looks like 3 waves down in wave A. So we've got an ABC down in wave A. This week we got a nice rally that I was expecting, and it looks like we're working on. It looks like we have 5 waves up done in wave A, and now we're working on 3 waves down in wave B. So we've got 3 down in A, we'll go 3 wave up in B, and then we'll go probably 5 down again towards 132, I think, and then again we'll look for a rally in wave C of B early next week. So that'll complete 3 waves up, and then we turn lower again in wave C. So it's a convoluted road we're on. It's a correction, so it's going to be a convoluted road. For next week, it's probably going to be sideways to slightly higher complete wave B, I think. Okay, here is the Dow. We still have a solid 1-2 pattern in place without any confirmation to the downside just yet. So I suppose the short-term question is, are we complete wave 2 just yet? So that's what I've been trying to figure out this week, and so far we haven't reversed, so ergo wave 2 is not complete. The alternate, I suppose the main alternate here would be just to drop this count down up by 1 degree. So we would probably go up to a 2nd degree in green there. I don't know whether, it's probably not viable just yet. But so long as we're holding below that 33,450 level, I think this solid 3-wave pattern higher is the way to go. And obviously, we look for a third of a third decline, and that would be a pretty major, I think, decline, which would rule out any. I was looking at the headlines throughout the week, and that there was 2 particular headlines that really jumped out at me. One of them was, the rally that has occurred over the last few weeks is mostly attributed to buy-in by the masses. So the Robinhood crowd is back buying in, of course, at the top of a C wave, at the top of a correction. And then I think was it yesterday, there was a headline about insider selling being the highest in over a year. So I think who's got the information there, the more valuable information. I think you might go with the second headline on that one. And of course, they would use rallies to sell. So this particular rally has been used to sell. And, if you're a CAO, maybe it's time to sell your stock. Okay, let's get to the hourly count. We still have that. This is the 3-wave pattern higher that I've been looking at. I'm not sure whether wave 5 is in, wave 5 of C. That's kind of up for debate. We haven't made a new high this week, so the only problem I really have here is the let's say the form of that recent decline earlier on this week is just not it's not impulsive enough to kind of really concentrate on it too much. Overall, I'm still looking at just an A, B, C pattern higher, and kind of maintaining a kind of a disciplined distance here until there is at least a reasonable a bearish impulse wave building to the downside. So initially I'm looking for a decline below that triangle low here at 31,790. So once we break that triangle low, then I think that would be a strong signal in favor of the bearish count. Okay, let's move on. And that's pretty much what I'll be looking for next week. Again, we didn't get it this week. It'll come. Here is the 4-hour count in gold. Question being, do we have a 5-wave pattern now in place? I am beginning to kind of favor that idea, which would, that idea suggests that the recent low at 1680 or so, what was it? 1680 is wave 5 of C of 4. We go to the daily count. The biggest problem I have with that is that we didn't break to a new low. So we didn't break below the wave A low, the previous 1660 wave A low. So we've got A down, B up, and wave C down should create a new low. So I was looking for around 1650 complete wave C of 4, and that can still happen. I mean, we can still reverse lower in that final 5th wave and push below that 1650 level. So I'm open to suggestions on that one. No, I'm open to that. This decline continuing, and that is the main wave count is still viewing this rally as a 4th wave. So, are we going to get a reversal this week today and maybe Monday and Tuesday? Are we going to get a reversal down into wave 5? I would probably prefer that, because I would like this C wave here in red to make a new low back around 1650. And I'll just mark that for you. That 1650 level would complete the larger 4th wave correction a little bit nicer. It'd be a nice little cherry on top. It's not that I can't go with this particular pattern, but I would like to see that C wave make a new low, and that's kind of still what I'm holding out for. Even in terms of the bullish alternate count here, even if this rally is in 5 waves, then we'd still expect a decline in 3 waves in wave 2. So there'll probably be a higher low building next week anyway in a 2nd wave, even if the alternate count is correct. So we're watching this day by day, and I think we should be able to discern, I think, between both of those counts and pick a winner by the end of next week. So get on to the nightly updates if you want to track that. Okay, here's crude oil. You would think that, with war brewing all over the place and ongoing all over the place, God help those who have to, endure that war, and then on the other side, God help those who have to fight that war. Anyway, I daren't think about it, to be honest. Okay, so we still have a 1-2 pattern. We created a lower high, and then we fell pretty precipitously now at this point. We've made a new low. So as far as crude oil is concerned, Russia shipping oil to the West doesn't matter. So that's as far as this continued decline in crude oil. And I would have to admit that, if most of my revenues were coming from international oil sales and the oil was declining precipitously, I would be a little bit worried, to be quite honest. So, do we have a 1-2 pattern complete, and are we declining into a 3rd wave? That is kind of the main question on my lips this week. And if we go to the hourly count, I will show you. Right. The possibility is that we have an ABC pattern complete in wave 2. I suppose if a third of a 3rd wave decline is going to materialize, then I should probably keep an eye on that as the main wave count. So that's kind of where my mind has been occupied by this week. So the pattern off that wave 2 high seems to fit a little bit better with a series of 1-2s again. So I would expect again another correction in a second wave. Even if my most bearish wave count here is actually correct, I would expect a second wave correction in blue here, back towards probably $92 again, before accelerating lower in a third of a third. Now this wave count might materialize a little bit better. It might, let's say, whatever short-term confusion might be here, it might clear up quite quickly. We might get a larger 5-wave pattern down, and that would be wave 1, and then we'd look for a larger 3-wave correction higher. For the moment, I'm willing to kind of run with this setup until proven otherwise. I think if we get a rally back above $92 again would rule out a larger wave 1 down. So that's probably what I'll be looking for in wave 2 to confirm this pattern. As for this larger alternate here, wave 2 in blue, this could be a complex expanded flat. So we could have wave A up, then ABC, wave B down, and then a 5-wave rally in wave C of 2 would complete that larger second wave. So there are possibilities brewing on both sides of the coin here. So longer term, I still think we're heading lower into a third wave. If we get a short-term move, or sorry, if we get a move quicker down into let's say a crash type scenario within the stock market again, next week, if we move into that dreaded third of a third decline next week, then I think it'll pull crude oil. It'll pull crude oil down with it, and we'll just move down into that third wave. Okay, so let's see how this fares today. We should know by this evening if wave 2 is underway. We may even have a 5-wave pattern now completing in wave 1. So wave 2 may well be underway by this evening. So watch out for that today. Okay, let's move on. I'll get the S&P. S&P, really nothing further to add here. The pattern is a little freer in the S&P. We don't have the constraint that I have within the Dow. Now, I might, there's alternates for the Dow as well. So what I mean by that is we have a clear 5-wave decline in wave 1 off this wave 2 in green. That April high there in wave 2 in green. So we have 5 waves down and we have 3 waves up now. So question is, what have we reached in this 3-wave correction higher? So we're now sitting at the 50%, well, just above the 50% retracement. Today, this is the previous 4th wave here above us at 4,200. So we are looking at a pretty good area for a reversal to happen. Okay, we've got 3 waves up. We've got a 50% retracement. We've got a looming third of a third correction on the books here. So question is, when does that third of a third begin? So I've been looking for a few weeks now. It hasn't happened. All we've done is move higher to complete this larger larger 3-wave correction. If it is a 3-wave correction, then we will move lower into a third wave, and it will be quite a serious acceleration lower. And that is my base case scenario here. You can see this second wave is ABC up in A, ABC down in B, and then a 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. Now, you could count this third wave as an extended affair, so we could go, wave 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5 within wave 3. I like that correction there within the middle of the pattern here. So I'm going to stick with this particular iteration of it. Suffice to say that no matter which way you kind of view this now, I think we're at the upper ends of it. We're at the end of this 5th wave. Do we get another pop today? It's, you can never rule that out, can you? But, even if we do get a new pop higher today, I don't think that we're going to go how do I phrase this correctly? I don't think it's going to break out of the channel or anything. I think the next main move will be to the downside, and that is where I'm focused still this week. So you might think I'm a fool, but I'm getting old and I'm patient, so I'm willing to wait. So here's silver. The wave count hasn't changed, although there is the possibility, obviously, of a bullish alternate building here. We do have a 5-wave pattern lower possibly in place. That would be the alternate count there, but we do still only have 3 waves up. So the question being, are we reversing bullishly to the upside? It's possible. It's even, you might even say it's very possible. But for the moment, we only have 3 waves up. We don't have 5. So I'm willing to allow this to be a 4th wave as shown. If we only correct, if it's only a mild correction and we hold above 1910 again, and then we rally, then we'll have 5 waves up, and then we can look for a bullish upside reversal. So we've got like 5 up, 3 down, bullish higher low, and then I'll be away to the races, and I'll let you know all about it. Okay. Suffice to say, it's in silver. There's the possibility of a reversal pattern, but it's still building, and I'm just going to have to allow it time to build satisfactorily, because we need 5 waves up. I mean, that's still a 3-wave pattern higher, no matter which way you want to look at it. It's 3 waves up. I would suggest that at least we need another rally to switch this pattern off the bearish point of view in the short term, anyway. Okay, so Bitcoin has pretty much done nothing for months. Okay, all the bulls are back out in force and saying the end, or the end of the what you call it, the end of the apocalypse, the Bitcoin apocalypse is here. You need to get on the boat now, and of course they would say that. I still think that this is only a sideways correction in a 4th wave, and we're probably transitioning now even as I speak. The price drifted lower this week. No major impulsive look to it just yet, but there is, lurking underneath it. There is the very real possibility that we have topped out in wave 4 and we're going to move down into wave 5 pretty quickly. So I would be watching out for that if I were you. I'm going to go to the NASDAQ. Here's the NASDAQ. Here's the 4-hour count in the NASDAQ. We've got to actually go to the hourly count. The correction in the NASDAQ, I think, is interesting because everybody's been focusing on, tech earnings this week, and look at those blowout tech earnings. Yeah, okay. We've got this 3-wave correction higher. I think there's a number of ways you could count wave B there, but I think the triangle is probably the tidiest at the moment. We've got a possible wave 1, wave 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 5 pretty much complete. We have got a bearish momentum reversal on both the hourly and the 4-hour. We've got 3 waves up. It's popped out above the top end of the trend channel here, or the top line of the trend channel. But I'm not particularly concerned about that, to be honest. 3 waves up. Either this is a 2nd wave or it's a 4th wave correction. I'm sticking with the 4th wave at this moment in time, but I'm quite open to changing this to a 2nd wave. I do think that once we all 3 of the stock market, well, the whole wider stock market will fall together, obviously, and I do think across the 3 markets, or the 3 indices that I follow, we've got a pretty clear 3-wave pattern higher. And if you go to the DAX here, here's the DAX. We've got 3 waves up in A, 3 down in B, and then we've got a 5-wave pattern here in wave C. So a 3-wave pattern higher in the DAX. We go to the FTSE. We've got a 3-wave pattern higher in the FTSE. We've got ABC up in A. We've got an ABC down in B, and then we've got a probably an ending diagonal pattern in wave C. So we've got three-wave pattern higher in the FTSE, all lining up across the spectrum. Basically, we've got corrections in the stock market, and those corrections, while I keep saying, next week is going to be very interesting. I do think next week will be very interesting in terms of a reversal, because I do think that this C-wave rally is quite extended and quite, mature and ready to roll to the downside. I would just, keep an eye on what those, insiders are doing with their stock. Okay, that is that. We're done with the market. I'm not done with you just yet. Don't go away. I want to give you the ABCs of salvation, because you are human. And, I never really know how to start this, to be quite honest. We are human. We shuffle to the end of this mortal coil. I think every day 150,000, between 150,000 and 200,000 people die on planet Earth every day. And, if they don't know Jesus Christ, if they don't accept him as their Lord and Savior, if they don't walk from death into life, well, then they will spend eternity in death. And I do truly believe that the call is for everybody, and everybody has heard it. You've heard it yourself in your mind's eye, or your, let's say, your conscience has called you. It has convicted you. You realize, I realize that I'm a sinner. We're all sinners, and we cannot pay an eternal sin debt to an awesome, holy God, because we have nothing that will, pay back that our God, our Creator. You don't have anything. You possess nothing that you accumulate on planet Earth. You cannot take it with you. You cannot pay off the Lord God for the sin that you've committed. But he did offer a way out. And I hate the argument that that's so exclusive. Jesus is so exclusive. You're just excluding everybody. If I was God, and I wanted to tell people that there is a way to get to heaven, I would make it the simplest way possible. And I would only make one way, because then that clears away any hubris and any kind of argument that humanity can make. I would make one way, and I would tell humanity about this one way, and it's up to humanity then to either decide it, or accept it or reject it. The fault is on you then. There are no multiple ways to God. You cannot build your way up to heaven. You cannot accumulate your way to heaven. You cannot do enough good things to earn heaven, because we're all sinners. You can't. There's no way you can pay for your sin. Only Jesus Christ can pay for your sin. He paid for it. God in the flesh came down, died on that cross, paid for your sin. But before he died, he said, "It is finished," meaning the sin debt is paid. All you have to do is accept it. It's a free gift. Ephesians 2:8 and 9. So that no man can boast. Salvation is a free gift, so you cannot boast about earning heaven, because you can't earn heaven. Salvation is a free gift. So take it, grab it with both hands. I think, don't be an idiot, and just, contemplate on it. Ask the Lord God. If you're seeking God earnestly, then he will answer you. There's no doubt about it. To my Jewish friends as well, to my Muslim friends, Muhammad didn't die for you. None of the rabbis died for you guys. Only Jesus. Only Jesus. Only Yeshua. Ben David. Ben Yosef. He died for you. And it's written all over the Old Testament. Just go and look. It's there. The book is written about him. It's everywhere. Oh, so that's it. Accept Jesus as your Lord and Savior, and you're done. You're in heaven. I'll see you there. Okay. I can't cap that off with anything, graceful or glorious. If you want daily Elliott Wave updates, head over to fullwest.org, and I'll see you there tonight. Okay. God blessings to you all. If I'm alive next week, I'll be back.